Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Robert, world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Oh,
None of these are on. I was like, why is it so dark? Okay, now we're ready.
yeah. Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. So let me start off by saying this weekend we have our big complete real estate investing class. It's Friday night, all day Saturday, most of the day on Sunday. So it's 2.5, 3 days, complete real estate investing. You can go there by going to mrtxrei.com, mrtxi.com. You can go ahead and go to that website and fill out the form. It's $97. It'll be the best $97 you ever spent in real estate investing. And so what we want you to understand at the end of that 2.5 days is the right questions to ask. We've been doing this class now for consistently almost a year now, and inevitably there'll be someone there who has gone to lots of classes and bought the books on tape and follows this guy, and I watch this guy and I watch his podcast and all that stuff, and they'll have tons of information. And they'll, well, that's not how the law works, and they'll want to debate legal stuff. And I'm not a lawyer, right? You know how I figure out legal stuff? I hire legal professionals. But someone will sit there and they'll shift the conversation into, this sort of pseudo intellectual real estate world, and my response is always, when it starts getting there, it's, well, how many deals have you bought in the last 90 days? And hands down, the answer is always zero. Always zero. And then I say to them, I'm like, man, you're not asking the right questions. It's great that you have all this knowledge, like all this great knowledge. You read the books that we told you to read, and you went to the classes and went to all the gurus, and that's great. You paid $6,000 and you've been part of this group for 5 years. I get it. That's all great. How many deals have you bought in the last 90 days? None. How many did you buy in the last year? Well, I did a refi. Okay. You're asking the wrong questions. That's the problem. We don't know the right questions to ask. And one of the big things we always say in everything that we do is don't do anything in real estate. Like, don't even think about starting unless you understand who you are and what do you want. Okay? Who are you and what do you want? And most people don't want to answer those two questions. Those questions will be avoided like the plague. But the questions about how to do a seller finance wrap in San Antonio with using a trust out of Wyoming on an Indian reservation, those questions will get asked. But the question, who are you and what do you want? Very, very seldomly asked. And you're driving or you're listening to this, if you're listening on a podcast, really creepy, I'm in your ear right now. I'm like, I'm in your ear. I'm in your head. Anyway, if you're listening to this, who are you and what do you want? And that's the thing. You got to know the starting point. And it was very, very clear to me when I came to Texas who I was and what I want. Now, did it change? Yes. Yes. I didn't think I'd own a $7 million construction business. I didn't think I was ever coming back to that world, but here I am, and we're doing great things. Right? I didn't think I'd own this company. I didn't think I'd be a part of this. And so all of a sudden we start changing, and next thing you know, me and Jason have got a number of businesses that are doing very, very well. In fact, our businesses are worth more than our personal portfolios right now, which is really, really odd to say, but we're happy to be there. So what do you want? Like, start with what do you want? And I'll tell you the baloney answer. I want $1 million. Like, I hear that all the time. It's like, you want $1 million? Great. What would you do with $1 million? They don't even understand that 450,000 of that is going to go right back to the government because they have no idea how to handle $1 million. What do you want? I want financial freedom. Well, what does that look like? That's a tagline, right? That every guru uses to get you to buy their $1,000 product or $2,000 product or $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 package. Financial freedom. There's no such thing as financial freedom. Let me say that again. There's no such thing as financial freedom. Because as soon as you make all the money, you're going to spend more time protecting the money than you did making the money. You will be assaulted on all fronts. There will be people doing trip and fall nonsense and filing insurance claims and fishing and doing all, and you will have to fight that off. There's no such thing as financial freedom. Your focus simply shifts. You can see it. Before I came out here, I used to attend a lot of 1031 conventions. And I was in those groups in Vegas. I was in those groups in San Diego. Even a little bit of stuff I did out in New Jersey. And man, those are rooms filled with fear. Just filled with fear. And what we have is people are worried about losing their money. They have it. They have exactly what you said you wanted. I want $10 million in property. Great. They have it. They are driven more by fear than on the protecting it and keeping it than they are on absolutely growing it. I would like to have $30 million worth of wealth. I would. But I also understand what that means. Right? $30 million worth of wealth is at least $500,000 a year in lawyers and accountant bills. So I know financial freedom is used as a catchphrase out there, and it's a great little marketing tool. That's awesome. We want financial freedom. What we want is financial stability. That's really the word we should be using. We want it to be stable. We want it to have our risk low and have some time. But if you tell me you want to make $1 million or $10 million or $100 million, I just know that looks like a lot of work. So you got to start asking the right questions. And again, we'll start breaking that down for you at Complete Real Estate Investing. You go to mrtxrei.com, mrtxrei.com. It's a whopping $97. Make sure you sign up. Come on out. 2.5-day event. And it will really start focusing and shaping the conversation that you need to have with yourself. And that's the big thing you have to understand. So that's mrtxrei.com, mrtxrei.com. We'll see you there this weekend. Hang tight. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Robert here with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. We're talking about the right questions, right? And again, I don't want to sit here and crush people's dreams. I want you to be financially stable, right? That's really what we're looking for, stability. And it doesn't have to be $10 million. Holding on to 10 and 30 and 50 and $100 million is not easy. Holding on to 2.5 and 3 that's cash flowing 10 to 15,000 is a lot less work. And so we have to put it in front of them because most people are just throwing these little marketing catchphrases at us. What do you want? I want financial freedom. What the hell does that look like? I want to make $1 million. I want to have 1,000 doors. I want to make $50 million. Like, wow. You want to make $50 million? Yep, great. How many books a year are you reading? I'm not talking about motivation videos. I'm like, how many books are you reading? Are you understanding what it's going to take to protect your assets? And we talk about complete real estate investing. This is what we're talking about. Not just making it, but protecting it. We do this thing on Sunday morning called the Magic Box. It took me about $50,000 to learn what I teach. It's part of that $97. And I give it away, and I give it all away free. And most times, because here's what I know. You're going to need to really sit down and focus on it, and most people won't. So I don't care if I give it away. But that magic box is about protecting assets, growing assets, and being able to get to financial stability. Most people want $1 million because they're on a roller coaster ride. Can we just get you stable? Can we do that while you keep your job at Exxon or the medical center, or, as an attorney, or owning a restaurant, or owning a flooring company, whatever? Can we just get this other part of your world stable? Can we get $2.5 million, $3 million in assets? Right? Can we get that $3 million to throw off $300,000 a year? And the answer should be yes. That's stability. We don't need to have $100 million worth of stuff to have a really good, stable future. But a lot of people come to us and they simply don't know what they want. And they'll just, again, I want financial stability, financial freedom. I want $100 million. I want 1,000 doors. Like, I hear all that stuff, and I'm just like, man, you got to think more. You got to do a little more work on this stuff. And then the thing that Jason always throws out is like, well, here's the thing. Take your best year ever, your best financial year ever, whatever that number is, right? What's your best year ever? Now divide that into $1 million and tell me how many X you have to do in your performance as an earner. My best year ever was, $150,000. Great. You've got a 7.5X your effort and your performance to make that $1 million. But if your best year ever was 150, and we're talking about a way to make 300,000, now we're talking about just 2X. Very reasonable goal. That can be accomplished over 3 to 5 years. So again, what do you want? But if your best year ever is like $40,000 and you come to me and you want to be a millionaire, I don't even want to talk to you, to be honest with you. I really don't. It's a waste of both our times. So understanding where you're starting from, who are you? Hey, my best year ever is this. Like, you're driving along, you're listening to it. What was your best financial year ever? And then tell me, what do you want? Okay, well, I want to have $300,000 coming off of real estate in an active/passive role. Great. Excellent. What was your best year ever? 100,000. Great. All we have to do is 3X it. This is absolutely achievable. I want to make $1 million a year. Great. What's your best year ever? I made 50,000. Well, we're talking about 20Xing. That's a long time to get there. See, we're not the folks out there that tell you can do this in 90 days. We're not sitting here telling you you're going to be rich in a year. It's not the case. It's not how it works. And we're certainly not telling you how to be a billionaire. We don't know how to do that. But I just know if you haven't made your first $1 million by 30, technically, the odds are you're not going to be a billionaire. And most billionaires, that doesn't happen until you're 60 years old. And I'm way too close to 60. I know what my goals are. I know what I want. And I know who I am. And I'm getting there. And so we start shaping that sort of understanding. And then we can build out a strategy for you. We had someone come in last night. And he said, hey, I joined and I'm ready to look at some things. And I'd really like just a 4-unit. A 4-unit that makes sense, but it's also going to grow and appreciate. More likely, I want depreciation because I own a number of businesses. I said, great. Well, I got a 4-unit for you right here. It's $460,000. It's $115,000 a unit. And you should be making between $1,000, $1,500, and $1,100 rent each unit. You're going to do just fine. Pretty darn close to the 1% rule. This thing is going to appreciate probably 8 to 10% in the next 18 months. And you're going to get depreciation. came in with a very, very clear understanding of what he wanted. And we were able to deliver. He's part of the mastermind. So if you don't understand what happens in the mastermind, we do a lot of things. There's a whole bunch of videos on our channel. Go to our the Texas Real Estate Mastermind YouTube channel. You'll hear my voice there. One of the things we do for our mastermind folks is we bring them the deals. We'll go hunt for them. Like when I'm done recording this, I'm going to go sit with a bunch of agents and we're going to review, I don't know, about 40, 50 offers that we made and the off-market stuff that we're looking at and some of the marketing that's come back to us. And we'll say, hey, we got this one guy, he's looking for an Airbnb in Galveston. We got this other person looking for a duplex. One person looking for a Ford unit to live in. It's like, great. Okay, let's find this stuff. And then we go out and find it for them. So one of the big benefits of the mastermind is you're going to be able to get our deals. That's a big one. You'll learn more about the mastermind, what it takes when you come to complete real estate investing this weekend. It's MRTXREI. MR as in Mr. TX as in Texas. REI as in realestateinvesting.com. MRTXREI.com. Check it out. It's a whopping $97. This will be the best $97 you ever spend. It is absolutely going to be worth it for you. So make sure you come on out. Check that out for us. We come back from the next segment. We'll talk about some of the market analysis we're going to do this weekend as well. And maybe in the last segment, we'll talk about financing. So, hey, this is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. Hang tight. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, so we're talking about asking the right question. And that's pretty darn important, right? So, again, we can sound really smart, and we can talk about all these great hypothetical things. You know, I love the, you know, I have an LLC in Vegas that is owned by an S Corp in Iowa that is, you know, again, run through a trust on a tribal land in Alaska. And now nobody can get me. Great. How many deals have you done? Well, I haven't done any yet, but I have this wicked LLC set up. Great. Let me know how that works out. We just start focusing on the wrong thing. We've got to find deals, and there are deals in this market. We're going to go get them. The market is racing ahead, right? A big thing that we're going to do at Complete Real Estate Investing, which is happening this weekend, and you can go to mrtxrei.com to get your ticket for $97, is we analyze the marketplace. We're analyzing the marketplace. We are now shifting to a different market. It's one of the things we were talking about with the mastermind last night. Hey, we're going to go start looking at this market right here. And this is the new number. This is the entry point. And we're analyzing it because we think there's this great appreciation moment in real estate is going to last. It's going to last. Like if you looked at the HAR report, we're up 4% month over month on single-family houses. Month over month, 4% increase. We track it. Right now, we're tracking a 31% year-over-year increase. Am I predicting 31? No, I'm telling you what is being tracked. And so I talk to a lot of people, a lot of people who are rooting against themselves. It's the craziest thing. And I hear people, this is what they'll say, well, this cannot last. Well, it can. Yes, it can. Well, nobody will be able to buy a house. Well, that's not true. 1 in 2 families are going to buy a house. And the fact that there's simply not enough houses for anyone to buy anyway tells me that the people that can't afford it will keep on buying and paying higher prices. Yeah, there's got to be a crash at some point. And then I turn to them after all that stuff and I say, do you own a house here? Yeah. Where do you own your house? Oh, I'm in Sugar Land. Are you rooting for a crash in your house? Is that what you're telling me? You want to see your homestead reduced in value? What are we talking about? Now, I get it if you missed the boat here in the last 4 years, 5 years, heck, 10 years of buying here in the greatest landlord market in the country, Houston metropolitan area. I get it how you'll have a little sour apples and you're going to kind of root against the stuff that's going on because you think at some point, hey, there's a win here that's going to happen. It's not. It's not. One of the reasons I picked Houston is that it mimicked LA County greatly. Greatly. I've seen this market. I've seen how it moves, and it happened in 2013. Right? 10 years later, it's happening in Houston, and we can follow the trends. Is this a prediction? No. I'm simply looking at the data, and we'll look at the data, and we'll say, hey, this was the number here. It was a medium house in 2013 in LA County was $280,000. And in 10 years, it went to $640,000. We were at $260 2 years ago. We're now at over 40, over 400. We're at $260, we're now over 400. Guess what? We are very likely going to get to that 600 mark in a decade. I came to Houston. Average home price was $260. Medium home price was $230. We're now at $426 and $400 something in 4 years. We'll absolutely get to that 600,000 mark, all things being equal, in the next 6 to 7 years. Maybe sooner. Maybe we hit 500 by 2023. Maybe at some point in 2023, the average home price is $500,000 in Houston. And you know what? It's supposed to be. One of the great things about coming to Houston 4 years ago is understanding that this was a major metropolitan area disguised as a rural marketplace. We talk about it all the time. We talk about when I first came here, a forklift driver at Home Depot and a kindergarten teacher would be able to qualify for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, brick-built house in Katy and put their kids in a good school system. That was 4 years ago, and that house was going for $120,000, $130,000, maybe $140,000, $150,000. They had a combined income of about $60,000 to $80,000. Had a little money on the side, they would have qualified for it. And then just this last year, they would have refied at 3%, and they'd be doing very, very well for themselves. That is not the case anymore. That forklift driver at Lowe's or Home Depot or the lumber yard, and that kindergarten teacher or school assistant, and they're married, and they've got 2 kids, they will no longer be able to afford a house. They're being priced out of the marketplace. And there are tons of news reports and YouTube videos on how sad it is. And it is sad. It is. However, the market is telling us that that is what is happening. Let me put it to you another way. Houston pulled up their big boy pants for real estate and said, we're the number 4 major metropolitan area in the country, and our houses should cost the same as these other major metropolitan areas. And the race is on. So will it be the same as LA, Seattle, Bay Area? Probably not the Bay Area. Maybe not LA. Maybe LA County. LA County is more reasonable. Will it be the same as the outskirts of Chicago? Probably no. That's way up. Right? Will it be the same as Miami? Yes. Atlanta? Yes. Right? We're number 4. Right? And we still can't touch like the top 6. Top 6, New York, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Seattle, right? I won't even throw in Hawaii. Hawaii is crazy. But those top 5 markets, we still can't touch. We're not there with the real estate pricing. We're in those 10 to 20 markets, right? We're as expensive as Miami, as Boston, as Philadelphia. But we're such a larger market and there's so much more wealth here than there is in Philadelphia. Yeah, so the price is going to keep rising up. We are a major metropolitan area. The thought that we are, just a sort of rural little, outskirts of Tulsa is not the reality anymore. We're a major metropolitan area, and the prices are reflecting that. Anyway, we're going to talk more about this and a whole bunch of other stuff at Complete Real Estate Investing. Go to MR as in Mr., TX is in Texas, REI is in realestateinvesting.com. Check it out. It's a whopping $97. We'll see you there this weekend. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with the world-renowned Mr. Texas Real Estate, and this is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, check out our YouTube channels. It's the Texas Real Estate Mastermind. And go out there and check that out. You'll see our links. We got some really nice, great videos going up. Thanks to Clayton and the whole team. It's looking good. So go out there, check it out. Subscribe, if you will. We're really trying to bust 1,000 subscribers. That's how pathetic we are. We got to get over that 1,000 number, and then things start changing on the YouTube world. So if you could help us out and go and subscribe, that'd be great. All right, so we have Complete Real Estate Investing coming up. We've talked about in the last segments, understanding who you are and what do you want. What's your ability to be able to pick up $2.5, $3 million worth of equity and produce $300,000 passive/actively in your life, right? Or going for the 10 million mark or the 100 million mark. Which I don't recommend, but people are going to talk about it. And then understanding who you are, where you're at, where are you starting from? How big of a challenge are we really sort of taking on? And we also talked about the market. Hey, this is the Houston metropolitan area. This is a major metropolitan area. It has now become an international market, okay? Which means the prices are being pushed up and up and up and up. It's no longer disguised as a secondary market. It is a major primary market, and it's behaving as such. It's just about 10 years behind Seattle. 10 years behind the Bay Area. It's 10 years behind Southern California. It's 20 years behind New York City. But, look at the average house in Atlanta. Look at the average house in Miami. Look at the average house in Phoenix, in Vegas. We should be where we're at. In fact, we're still too cheap. Nobody wants to hear that, but the houses are still too cheap. That starter home is going to be $350,000 to $400,000. And that move-up home, that 4-bedroom, 3-bath, master suite, 2,300 square feet, is going to be $600,000. And it should be. This is a major area. This is a major city. So we can't hold on to the past. So now, okay, all right, Rob, all right, I believe you. Now what? Great, now what? Now we got to we have to deal with the person that is absolutely 100% in control of our real estate investing career. And that is the underwriter. It is the underwriter who is going to dictate how fast we can grow, because we need to leverage at the beginning. If you have $500,000 and you want to buy a 4-unit, great. But I'd rather have that $500,000 to buy 3 4-units and leverage it. So we're going to start talking about the leverage game. And listen, I'm a big Dave Ramsey fan. I don't want to be in debt. But I have sat down and said, okay, hey, man, for this 10 years of my life, I'm going to be really levered. Right? I'm really levered. What's the joke? The joke is, if I owe the bank less than $1 million, right, I'm the one who gets screwed. If I owe the bank more than $10 million, they're the ones that get screwed, right? So, I am definitely over-levered at this point, but because we're growing, right? We are absolutely growing massively. In fact, we're taking a $10 million payday. Now, it's not all coming to us. We're going to pay everyone back. But we're liquidating about $11 million of property out of our portfolio. Some are being picked up by mastermind members. Some are going on the market. Lots of small apartments. We're doing great. We're dumping about $11 million. So that's good for me because that reduces my my mortgages in my name. That's good, or my PGs. But I got that levered. I got those mortgages because the deals were solid. Sometimes even better than solid. They were just great deals. I have a great deal that we're working on right now, like a great deal. Heck, I got 3 of them. So we find the deals, but you've got to work with an underwriter or loan officers, a team that is going to be able to help you get those deals. I come to, Johnny and Eddie at Jet Lending, and I say, hey, man, I've got this deal. It's worth $1.3 million. I can get it done for $800,000. Will you lend me the money? They look at it and are like, yep, sure will. Great. Go to someone else. Go to Red Door. Hey, guys, I got this deal. Will you lend me the money? Yep, we love that deal. Great. So at the beginning here, you're going to work with asset base, right? Folks that are looking at the deal. And now when you get yourself in a position like we are now, then we start looking at, hey, let's look at the business. Let's look at the portfolio. Let's look at the borrower a little bit deeper. And that's where I am, and we're in really good shape, right? So all of a sudden our cost of capital becomes cheaper. And I know this sounds like I'm just patting myself on the back. I'm not. What I'm saying to you is during complete real estate investing, we're going to show you that sort of progress with leverage and how you might have to start out at 12%, but the end over here is 5.5%, right? The cost of capital will be more expensive at the beginning, but you've got to take the career. You've got to take that path because you're going to gain experience. You're going to gain wealth. You'll have equity to basically lever that. It'll no longer be just your name. It'll be like, hey, you got this building over here. You got $1 million in equity in it. Why don't we secure this loan with that? Yes, we can do that. We cross-collateralize until you get all the way down to the point where someone's lending you money at 5% and we're not even having those conversations anymore. But that's where we need to be. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of gurus, a lot of other folks will throw stuff out there like, just go get 4.5% money. It's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And there's a absolute progression that you need to go through, and we'll lay that out for you at Complete Real Estate Investing. It's mrtxrei.com. It's $97, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But we'll take you on that journey, and we'll help you understand, hey, this is what the leveraging is going to look like. It's going to start over at 12, and it's going to get lower and lower and lower, and you're going to be in that 5.5% world, maybe 6%. And you're going to be a lot happier. A 6% loan is a lot better than a 12% loan, all other things being equal. So we're going to show you that. We're going to show you that progress of financing. Okay? And I don't recommend anyone go back to college for this stuff, but I do recommend you figure out financing pretty quickly, whether you're watching YouTube videos, reading a textbook, or maybe even just going to community college, taking one semester of basic finance. And I think Houston Community College offers a real estate finance class. But once you start understanding that, then you understand the money, then your career turns. That's the real pivot on it. So we're going to talk about all this. Who are you? What do you want? How we're finding deals? Asking the right questions, right? Getting yourself set up for the long term and figuring out how to finance all this stuff at our 3-day event called Complete Real Estate Investing. Go to mrtxrei.com. Check it out. You can also go to our website, mrtxre.com. It's up there on the event page. And if you're on our email list, you're going to get spammed over the next 3 days. So, congratulations. We love you that much. We send you so many emails. That's why we do it. Come on out to our event, mrtxrei.com. It's Complete Real Estate Investing. And whether you're a beginner or you're, intermediate or you're an advanced, come out there and start getting at the right questions to ask lined up. Thanks, guys. Hang tight. We got a quick little break here. We'll be back, and then we're done for the night. Thanks. Thanks, man.